everyone. I'm so excited to have Melissa Sorgi with me here today, and she is the author of Open Windows. Melissa, can you tell us a little bit about your book?
Yeah, firstly, it's a young adult novel, although I think adults would enjoy it too. It's about two young people who meet each other in a high school in a small coastal town of Maine. And one of the characters is Samantha or Sam, and she's lived there her entire life, but is still a loner and an outsider. She feels like her books, her Great Dane, and her music are all she needs. She's a rock. She doesn't need anybody else. Meanwhile, George is, which is how I pronounce it, is has been sent to Miami from Miami to Maine as a punishment from his father to go live with his stepmother's parents because his father caught him in a very bad situation. So he wants him to get away from all the bad influences. So he thinks, I'll send you to Maine and they'll straighten you out up there. So he's an outsider. He is immediately picked on because he's Hispanic and small. So the bullies think, perfect target. They meet in an English class and start communicating with each other through notes set up back, the way you used to do it in school. You pass notes. And this takes place during the Obama era, so there's not so many computers as there are now. So it's done on paper. And they start slowly get to know each other and slowly become friends. And Sam notices that George is getting sadder and sadder and resolves to invite him to her house because she knows what it's like to be sad. Sam suffers from depression and sees the signs in George's eyes. So she resolves to invite him to her house, and so he starts going there after school to study. And they slowly, again, become friends. And for Sam to have a friend is a unique situation. Meanwhile, George is caught by some bullies on his way home from school and beaten up terribly. Ends up in the hospital. And that's when Sam realizes how much she misses him and thinks, wait, what? I miss somebody? But eventually he gets out of the hospital and they return to their friendship. And then the next situation is a little odd. They go to a friend of Sam's who's an older woman who's considered a witch by the neighborhood, but she says she's not a witch, she's a healer. That's an entirely different thing, and it's been a healer in that generations of in her family of women who have healed people. And she asks them to bring down a book from the attic, and they open the book up and fall into the book, and suddenly find themselves in the woods and don't remember getting there. They don't know, did she put something into their tea or how they get here? And then begins the second half of the adventure, where they hear men talking in the woods and thinking, these guys will let us, will tell us where we are and how we can get home and all that, and go through the woods and find these two men and realize these aren't men from this current time. They're dressed differently, they talk differently, and they go thinking, well, maybe they're, reenactors, and go up to them, and the two men don't see them or hear them. In fact, one of the men walks right through Samantha, and they realize they're the ghosts. Sam and George are the ghosts, and have gone back in time to about 1700s in the wilds of Maine. And for the rest of the book, they follow the book. They go in and out of the lives of these men and learn a lot about history because they experience history. And also that relationships don't change much in 400 years. That bad things, toxic people existed at all times. but at the very end, they come back to the current time in the old lady's house, and she gives them a little lecture on what they've learned and hopefully what they will carry forth with them. So that's it. It's a weird book,
Okay. I
but
I am already loving this story. This sounds like the exact kind of book that I would be interested in reading. It sounds so great, Melissa. What was your inspiration for writing the book?
well, I actually originally wrote it for a capstone project to get my master's degree, and my professors kept pushing me to have it published because he thought it was good enough. And eventually, I have done so. So I'm very excited about that. It's the first book I've ever had published. I've had poetry published, but this is my first novel, I'm very excited about it.
Well, that's super exciting, and I'm so glad that she kept pushing you to have it published because I think that this is the kind of story that a lot of people are really going to enjoy reading. It sounds like a real page turner, and yeah, it just sounds like it's like you said, it's that young adult category, but also something that older adults can enjoy as well. Melissa, is there anything else you can share about the book or the message behind the book or anything about yourself?
Well, the message essentially is I'm trying to reach out for to young people have who feel alone or feel abandoned or feel they don't fit in anywhere, and like George being Hispanic and gay, and Sam being a loner and an outsider who's never had friends. That and like I said, she suffers from depression. She cuts. So I try to reach out and let young people know that it's not the end of the world. You could find someone who can uplift you and help you through difficult times. And it's based on the fact that I met my best friend in high school. That was a long time ago. And 50 years later, we're still best friends. And we have carried each other through many difficult times. He was not Hispanic, but we did meet in Miami. I lived in Miami at the time. And that's what I want to. I want the reader to not only enjoy the book, but to feel uplifted. It's also funny despite the sad subjects, and he refers to music and weird quotations, and I think it's a book that I hope will make people feel good when they read it.
Yeah, I think that's such a powerful message. And I feel like it's kind of like be yourself and you'll find your people that,
Yeah.
that connect with you. So I really, really love that. Thank you so much, Melissa. For anybody who's interested in picking up a copy of this book, again, it's Melissa Sorgi and the title is Open Windows. You can get it on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and Apple Books, to name a few. Thank you again, Melissa, for being with us
Thank
today.
you. Thank you.